the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, humanity is scattered across a million worlds. It is a fractured, decaying empire, forever at war. Billions of souls live and die without a flicker of hope. But among those countless billions, a rare few are chosen. They are taken from the ashes of forgotten planets, from feral tribes in the crushing slums of hive cities. They are offered what most would call a miracle. They are told they will become gods, but first, they must die. The recruitment begins in silence. There are no grand banners, no funfair, just the heavy thud of boots on the ground and the deafening roar of gunships descending from the clouds. The Adeptus Astartes don't arrive as saviors. They come as harvesters. They seek only the strongest, the fastest, the most unyielding. 1,000 boys might stand before them, but only one will be deemed worthy, because the path to becoming a space marine isn't a selection process. It's an extinction event. The chosen are torn from their homes, their names erased from all records, their pasts scrubbed from history. To the vast Imperium, they are no longer sons, brothers, or friends. They are simply raw material flesh to be reforged in the fires of war. The weak are discarded early. Some perish during brutal training exercises. Others are mentally broken by the impossible trials. But for those who survive, the true unmaking is about to begin. It starts in the Apothecarian, a sterile chamber deep within the fortress. The air hangs heavy with the scent of antiseptic and incense, a chilling blend of science and faith. The neophyte is strapped to a cold steel table, his heart hammering against his ribs in sheer terror. Around him, robed tech marines and apothecaries move with a sacred rhythm, reciting litanies older than memory itself as they prepare their instruments. Then, the transformation begins. 19 implants, each one a surgical step away from humanity, each one a door that closes behind the boy forever. They crack open his chest, insert the secondary heart, a pulsing, alien organ. There'll be twice for every single human heartbeat. They graft the os medulla into his bones, forcing them to grow denser, harder, and virtually unbreakable. His blood is replaced with something thicker, something metallic. His body begins to heal at a supernatural rate. His threshold for pain simply erases itself. Then comes the Biscopia, flooding his muscles with a strength far beyond any mortal measure. The catalepsian node is implanted, severing his need for sleep. The omophagia will allow him to consume the flesh of his enemies and absorb their memories. The liman's ear sharpens his hearing until the silence itself becomes a roaring, unbearable noise. Every single implant is an exercise in agony. Each change pushes the young mind closer and closer to the brink of insanity. The boy screams, but no one listens. His humanity dissolves in the low hum of ancient machinery and the endless chanting of priests. He will lose his tears, his fear, his capacity for warmth, and in their place, he will gain unshakable faith. When the surgeries finally end, the indoctrination begins. The chaplains take over black-armored priests with voices like rolling thunder. They speak of the God Emperor, of the Great Crusade, of duty, sacrifice, and the absolute purity of war. Every lingering thought of the boy's former life is systematically burned away. Every shred of doubt is drowned beneath an ocean of devotional hymns. He learns to fight again before he learns to speak. He learns to kill before he learns to pray. And in time, the physical pain fades. His new, monstrous body obeys his every command. His new, conditioned mind accepts its new reality. The transformation is complete not when his new organs finally function, but when his soul falls silent. From the broken husk of a child, a warrior is reborn in the gold and crimson, or the black and iron of his chapter's creed. His power armor is more than just metal. It is his new identity. He is given a new name, a sacred title that replaces the one he lost forever. He is no longer human. Adeptus Astartes. To the Imperium, he is an angel of death. To his enemies, a nightmare made flesh. But deep within the ceramite shell, something of the boy he once was still remains, a tiny flicker of the life he had, buried beneath layers of obedience and dogma. Sometimes, in the quiet hours between battles, when the gunfire fades and the chanting stops, that flicker stirs. He might remember the sound of rain on a roof. He might see the faint image of his mother's face. He might feel the ghost of that terror he felt on the day he was taken. And then he buries it all again. Because a Space Marine does not remember. He serves. For every single Astartes who walks the battlefield, the remains of thousands of failed recruits lie buried beneath a monastery. They are the forgotten price of perfection of bones that form the very foundation of glory. And every Space Marine carries their ghosts with him, whether he admits it or not. The Imperium glorifies them. Statues are built in their honor, hymns are sung to their deeds, and children are raised to worship their very image. But no one outside the fortress walls truly understands what they are. They aren't knights. They aren't heroes. They are weapons-living tools forged in the Emperor's vision, designed to bring death in his holy name. When a Space Marine looks upon a battlefield, he doesn't see victory or loss. He sees function, the mission, the purpose, the Emperor's will. Emotion is a weakness. Mercy is a heresy. Only duty remains. But even gods of war can doubt. Some Astartes, after centuries of unending service, begin to question the silence from the Golden Throne. They remember whispers of their lost humanity, fragments of a forgotten warmth. They fight even harder to drown it out. They tell themselves they are beyond feeling and, yet in the quiet void between the stars, their hearts still beat. Two hearts, both heavy with a terrible truth. They know that every Space Marine was once a child who never had a choice. He was remade by pain, programmed by faith, and then set loose upon the galaxy as an instrument of the Imperium's endless, grinding war. His life is not his own. His death will be meaningless in the grand scheme of things. But between those two moments in that narrow, violent space of existence lies something both beautiful and terrible. Devotion without question. He is the Emperor's wrath given form. The fire that burns against the dark. The angel who knows only war. And when he falls us, all of them must eventually fall. There will be no grave, no name, no remembrance. Only the fading echo of his armor cooling on a desolate battlefield, and the whispered prayer of the apothecary collecting his gene seed, so that the horrific, glorious cycle may begin all over again. Because in the Imperium of Man, there is no peace. There is only duty, and for the sons of the Emperor, duty is eternal. They are the Space Marines, and this is what it means to be reborn as death itself. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the lore, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next journey into the darkness of the 41st millennium.